Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Please forgive me. I have been so behind. I was finishing up school and it just was a lot going on. But please forgive me. I am trying to come back now, and one of the reasons that I'm actually coming back to you guys today is because we just recently celebrated World Lupus Day 2 days ago. And if you know me, you guys know that I have lupus. So I thought it would be a great time for me to share my lupus story. You guys know I have my stroke story and my cancer story out. So I thought, hey, it's a great time to do my lupus stories. Okay guys, so let's start this out. Let's go back about 15 years. And so I'm like a little kid, I'm 12 years old. And so, I was just like every other kid, at school. I was, I remember I used to run like the fastest, at the track and all that stuff. I used to want to race people because I just knew I was fast, And then, I wanted to be a cheerleader, tried out for the cheerleading team, all that stuff. Clearly, I ain't make it, but there were some other reasons behind that too. But, so, like regular stuff. And I guess I started like, I was having some like minor leg issues and, things like that. And I remember my mom and I don't remember if anybody was with us. I can't remember. But we went up to New York. It had to be like spring break or something was going on like that. And so we went up to New York to visit my aunt. And my aunt died. Hey girl. So we were up there visiting her, and my cousin had took me shopping in New York. And so I was having like a good time. Take in mind, I'm like 12. So a good time back then, was just like you buying me a shirt. I remember I just started getting like really thirsty. I couldn't get enough water. And then I started getting really tired. And it was kind of crazy because now that you put these things together, it's like, wow, that's extreme fatigue, which means you're really tired. So it all started making sense when, it comes together now when I'm older and can understand it. So I just started getting worse and worse, and I think my temperature was like sky high, and it just was horrible. And I remember being in New York City and having to go to the emergency room. Well, not even the hospital in New York City. Like, the ambulance came all the way up to the daggone 19th floor and took me in a little chair that converted into a little rolly thing. And we went to the hospital. And I'll never forget this because at the New York hospitals, you had to pay for the TV. Right. So it just was, it was tacky. It was tacky. But, we didn't know what was going on, so we had to go. So they sent me home, blah, blah, blah. Okay, she might have an infection, things like that. Same old that they do at the local patient first. Now, so I'm like, okay, so my mom is like trying to get me back down to home, which at the time was like, the Richmond area. And so I remember we took a bus. We took the bus, and it was horrible. Like, I was so sick. In the words of my dad, Richard, I was sick as a dog, y'all. Like, it was crazy. And it just was like, I just couldn't even like lift my head up. I couldn't move. It was too much, And so I was like, okay, here we go, So we did that. We finally made it back home. Boop. Okay. We get to the Richmond hospital. Go there. Oh, it's probably just a virus. Boom, boom, boom. Send you home. Okay, boom. All right. So then we go back. It just was like a bunch of repetitiveness of like going back and forth to hospitals. Then finally, like, they admitted me. Bro, when they admitted me, I'm trying to tell you, I was there for like, it seemed like my whole life, because they kept on testing me for things and everything would come back, negative. So it was like they didn't even know what was really going on. It was just like, oh, it's a virus. I don't know how many times we heard it was a virus. I had this one test done on my brain, and it was like they put this cap on you, and then they like put this like gel in your hair, and they like, I guess to check the statues. I mean, maybe they thought I was going crazy or something, because I was like, I'm in pain. And then they're like, but the test is coming back negative, boo. So it just was like, okay, So finally, I think after like a month, a rheumatologist comes in. And so the rheumatologist comes in. He's like, okay, I'm going to run some labs on you. We about to figure this out. Do the labs. Tests come back. Oh, it looks like you have lupus. At the time, I didn't know what lupus was. Like, what is lupus? Come on, you know, like, what is this? And so I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to die. I don't know what, it was too much. So after leaving, I got discharged from the hospital, but I was discharged to move over to another facility for rehabilitation. So I moved over to the Children's Hospital in Richmond, Virginia. What's up, y'all? Hey, y'all. Yes, because those people took care of me. When I tell you that I had to learn how to walk again, I had to learn how to feed myself again, I had to learn how to like get out of the bed because my bones, my skin, it just was tender to the touch. Like my dad was telling me the other day, like, could nobody touch you because like it just, I would just go off. You know, it just was horrible pain. And it just, you know, being like in the bed for that long, like your muscles just give out. So it's like I had to build all that back up. You know, I remember I was on, going into the same thing on prednisone. They had me in this medically induced psychosis because of the prednisone. Let me tell you about this, y'all. So when you take too much medication, like it can make you go crazy, basically. So, you know, my road dog, my mom over here, she's like, no, 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 y'all not about to lock her up at the VCU psych ward because it's the medicine. Y'all need to take her off some of the medicine. And it was just like, you know, clearly my mother has a PhD and is a doctor. You know, I'm just saying. Not for real. But still, like, she obviously knew what she was talking about because at that point, they then began to decrease the medicine and you could see a complete change in me. I mean, like, this stuff makes you, like, see things on the wall and, like, some other crazy stuff. So, you know, if you're ever on medication, make sure that you have somebody that's looking out for you or knows your limit because they could lock you up for being crazy and it's not even your fault, right? So, you know, that said, after that, you know, it took me a while to like recuperate and really get back. I think I was in that program for like maybe 3 weeks, so like a month. And like I had this dream of getting a scooter and like my girl, Miss Overton, you know, or whatever, she like got the scooter for me. And so my goal in therapy was to be able to ride the scooter. And so they actually did, a little article in the Children's Hospital magazine on that. So I still have that to this day because my dream was riding a scooter, but they wouldn't let me ride it until I was stable enough to even stand up. So as you can see, I actually made that goal and I got to ride the scooter, and that was like the day that I exited out of the occupational therapy program at the Children's Hospital in Richmond. So, and saying that, like, it's just been so much with lupus. And the thing is, like, that was when I was first diagnosed, but I know that there's so many of us out there that go through things on a daily basis. Like, you know, those mornings when you can't get up out of bed because, like, you're stuck and people don't understand why you're stuck. Or those days when, like, you can go out and have you a good old time and stuff, like we out here, and then you can't move the next morning. These are things that people sometimes don't understand or comprehend because it's one of those diseases that, you know, it can show its face in so many different ways. I don't know if I even said this. Lupus is the disease, you know, it affects the systems of the body. This is more so systemic lupus, which is the type that I have. You also have discoid lupus, which is the skin type of lupus. You usually have the rashes and all those things that go with that. So I have systemic lupus. That means that my lupus can affect, you know, different systems of the body. It can affect your brain. It can affect your lungs, your heart, your muscles, your joints, your kidneys. All of that can be affected from this one disease. So I've met so many people where, you know, they've had to have kidney transplants. They had heart issues. You know, it's so many different areas that it affects that it's like, can somebody just get a cure already? Because we don't have time for this. But, you know, we deal with it and we press on and we're warriors and we fight to the end. So that is my lupus story. I feel like I left something out, but I don't want the video to be too long. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments, make sure that you leave them at the bottom and you know that I will answer them for you. No problem. I'm here to advocate. I'm here to help you guys. I'm here to be a support system for you. So make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye.